Hey guys, so today I just wanted to do like a really basic makeup look. I know I've said that so many times, but literally all I want to do is liner, lashes and base makeup, and obviously my eyebrows. I was watching Soph Does Nails videos yesterday and she talked about this girl called Maggie, I don't know how to say her last name, Maggie Liderman or something, and like, yeah, Soph was saying how she was beautiful and I searched her up and she is beautiful. So I really want to do like a makeup look inspired by her today. So like this is how she looks like. Sorry, I don't know how to insert pictures into like my videos yet. But yeah, so usually like she's just very basic but has like her eyebrows and her winged liner and like full lashes and stuff, so that's kind of what I want to do, just something just very basic. So I'm actually going to do my eyebrows on camera today because I thought that I would try and make this a bit more of an in-depth tutorial after watching Nikki Tutorials videos the other day. She said that a lot of people are asking for actual tutorials, so I thought I would try that. Even though I'm not like great at makeup, I guess if you guys can learn something or anything, that'd be good. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is take my little brush with my spoolie and I'm just going to brush through my eyebrows. So just like this. Mine really need to get waxed right now, but I didn't have a lot of time off over Christmas and the day I did have off was like Christmas and Boxing Day. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Anastasia Dip Brow, and this one is in the shade medium brown. I have not mastered a fade yet, as you guys would know because you see my eyebrows, they are not very good. So you can skip this part if you want, but just for those who want to know how I do mine, I will show you. So I'm just going to bring it up a little bit closer. So I start about here where I just put that dot, and then I'm so shaky today and I don't know why and it's stressing me out. But so then I'm going to draw a line underneath and connect it. I'm going to get this line to keep going until it comes to the other side of the eyebrow, so here. Like that. Then I'm going to get some more and I'm going to start on the top and meet this line. Like that. Then I'm going to draw my tail. And don't worry, we'll clean this up. My eyebrows are pretty hard to do at the moment because there's so many like extra hairs. But anyway, so now I'm just going to start running some product through. So then I'll get something like this, which looks hideous at the moment, but when we carve it out it'll be fine. So now I'm going to wipe off the excess on my brush. You can just wipe it off on the cap or in your hand, and then I'm going to draw a very, very faint line here from the start of my brow to this line, like that. And then I'm going to start drawing little upward strokes, so like this. I'm going to grab my spoolie again and just like run through it all to kind of blend it. So then we're left with something like this, which doesn't look great, but we're going to put concealer and stuff on it and brow gel. So I'm just going to do the other one off camera to save time and then I'll be back. Okay, so my eyebrows are on now. So I'm going to take, not my favourite concealer today, but this is the Too Faced Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer, and mine is in the shade Light, so it looks like this. I've got like the mini version. I like this concealer, but I just mean it's not my favourite because my favourite one is my Colourpop one. I have brow pomade on my shoulder. Weird. Okay, so I'm just going to take a flat looking brush like this now. And I'm just going to dab some concealer on it. I literally can't stop shaking it and I don't know why. It's really annoying me. So now I'm just going to trace underneath the brow. Like this. Focus on me. So I'm just going to put some concealer on my hand here, just so that way I don't have to keep opening the packaging. I can just dip into this. So after I've put it on, I'm just going to grab a small brush, a little angled one that looks like this. And I'm just going to use that to really sharpen the line. Then I'm going to go back in with that bigger brush and start on the top. Okay, so now we're starting to get something like this, and then just go back in with a smaller brush again and sharpen. Okay, and that's how it looks. Today isn't the best brow day. I can't stop shaking and I really don't know why. But yes, it's been a little bit hard to do right now. Now I'm just going to take another brush and just blend the concealer. So you just kind of pat it and like I like to just pat it and pull it down. It doesn't matter too much, like it doesn't need to be perfectly blended, but I just like to do this so you don't have like big long lines of concealer on your face. Like it just looks a bit more pushed into your skin, if you know what I mean. Okay, so the last step for my brows is brow gel. I'm using the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter today. So this is your chance if you want your brows to stick up a bit more. I'll show you what I mean. So you can run it through so that your brow hairs kind of stick up a little bit, and I know that some people like that kind of look. I do not. So I run it up and then pull it along, and then I just run it through the rest of my brow. So this is, yeah, just kind of like a mascara for your brow, just to kind of lock them in place. And I really like the Benefit one. It smells really good too. I'm sorry that our brows are not that good today, but yeah, you get the idea. Okay, so I'm going to do the other one off camera now, and then I'll be back. So now we're going to prime our eyes, and today I'm using the Morphe Eyelid Primer. So it just looks like this. I mean, you can just get it off the Morphe website. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit on my hand, about that much, and I'm just going to take a flat little brush like this to put this on my eyelids. We're not applying shadow today, but just make sure that you get it all over the lid, because if you do apply shadow and it's patchy, it'll perform differently in the parts where it is primed and where it isn't. So go right up to your brow bone. Just gonna do the same on the other side. You can see the difference, like it just kind of neutralizes the eye, gets rid of like the redness, and yeah, just makes it like an even base for eyeshadow. And eyelid primers also are also usually quite tacky and sticky so that they hold on to the pigment. I really want to try out the P. Louise one, but it's pretty hard to get a hold of, I think, especially in Australia. Now I'm going to wipe this brush off all the excess, and I'm just going to use it again to go back over and blend it. And because we're not putting any shadow on, I'm going to set it with a loose powder. So today I'm just going to take my Colourpop No Filter setting powder. Looks like this. I'm just going to take a small bit of that on just a short little brush like that. We're just going to dab this on and all around the eyelid. Okay, so now we're just going to draw our winged liner on, and today I'm going to use the NYX called the Vinyl Liquid Liner. I'm not very good at liner, so I don't really know how to give a tutorial on this, but usually what I do is I'll start right at the corner of my eye and draw it out, and then come back in and do the lid. It's hard to explain, but I'll show you what I mean. I might just put you guys a little bit closer. Oh my god, I'm so shaky today. So that's usually how I'll do it, and just colour it in. And then when it gets to this point, I start from the inner corner and line the black lash line. That, and then I'll colour that in. And we're left with something like this. So I'm just going to do the other side off camera now, and then I'll come back and show you how we do mascara and lashes. Okay, so this is how it's looking. Today I'm going to take the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara. This one's my absolute favourite. To me, like, I don't focus too much on the mascara, like I just kind of chuck something on, only because I'm always wearing lashes, so the way I do my mascara doesn't matter too much to me. But yeah, so what I usually do is kind of grab it, like stick the wand at the root of the lashes and then twirl it up, so like that. And then when it comes to like the inner part, I kind of just use the end of the wand. It's a little bit hard to see my lashes because the liner is so thick, but you'll be able to see the lashes, that's for sure. So the lashes I'm going to be using today are these ones here by Winx. Hang on, let me take them out. I've already taken one off this morning to see if it would suit, but yeah, this is how they look. So this is by Winx False Lash, and I actually have a discount code with them if you guys want to use it. It is SoJo 5. But all my discount codes and everything are on my Instagram page, so if you're needing any, head over there. And the lash glue I'm going to use today is Duo Lash Glue. It's like this. So usually what I do is just squirt a little bit on my hand. So I have a little lash applicator, and this one is by Unicorn Cosmetics. So it's just kind of like tweezers, but they're like curved to hold your lashes. Lashes are always made with one side to go to the inner corner and one side to go to the outer corner, obviously. The shorter bit is for the inner corner. So what I do is I'll hold my lashes with my little applicator. Then I'm just going to put some glue on the band, not too much, just a nice thin line of it. So it'll look like this. Sorry, it's a little bit hard to see. So then I will Usually let it dry for a few seconds, like 10 or so. And then what we're gonna do is stick it on my eye. I'm gonna try and do this on camera, but I don't know if I'll be able to, so bear with me. I'm not gonna be able to talk while I do it, but I will try and like explain it again. So when we put them on, I'll press the inner corner in, then the outer corner will pop up, push that one in too, and then you just let it dry. And now what I'm going to do is take my little things and squeeze them into my natural lashes like this. It's a little bit hard to do with these ones because they are so long and fluffy. So just like that. These lashes are really pretty. Yeah, I don't know if I said what shade they are, but they're the number 11. So not shade style, sorry. Okay, so that's how that looks. Now what I'm going to do is just do the other side of camera, and then we'll come in and prime and put foundation on and everything else. Okay, so my lashes are on now. So what I'm going to do now is prime, and my favourite primer is probably the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. So I'm just going to squeeze some of that onto my hands, about 2 pumps. Then I'll just distribute it across my face and then rub it in. I love this, it smells so good. So for foundation today, I'm going to be taking my Fenty Beauty foundation. Mine is in the shade 140, and I like to take mine with a beauty blender. Unfortunately, I don't have any water out here because I'm in the shed and we don't have a tap. So I'm just going to wet it with some setting spray, and this is a setting spray that I don't really like, which is why I'm happy using it. This is the Too Faced 3-in-1 Hangover Hangover setting spray and priming spray. So I just wet it until it expands. Just let it dry. So Fenty foundation dries pretty fast, so only use a little pump and do it in sections. So I usually like to start down here and I'll build it up my cheek. Don't forget to get under your jaw. So then when I've got about that much on, I'll put a little bit more and I'll do up here. And this is when I'll start heading towards the lips and stuff. So I usually stop about here and then do my under eyes and start to peek over to the other side. A tip for foundation is make sure you use a faraway mirror, but also make sure you use a close-up mirror, because sometimes it'll look really good blended in the faraway mirror and then up close you're like, oh my god, and vice versa. So if you're using 2 different angles to look at it, then you make sure that you get it blended really nicely. So just a little bit more now, and then we're going to start over this side and meet in the middle. So yeah, just little bouncing motions as well, no dragging. So when it gets to the point where I'm near my eyebrows, I like to turn the sponge around to the little side here so I can get a nice line and not get foundation into my eyebrows. Obviously if you do your foundation first you won't have this problem, but obviously I do my foundation and stuff for last. So just make sure you get it into your hairline as well, which I know sounds gross, but there's nothing worse than having a little line here. So that is looking pretty good. Next I'm going to take the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Sealer. This one is in the shade Fair, and this is to highlight points and brighten points on your face. So I'm going to put some under my under eyes. I'm going to put a little bit on my chin. I'm going to draw some down my nose to make it look a bit smaller, and just a little bit on the forehead. So you have to work a little bit fast with concealer because it tends to crease. So just don't let it sit there for too long. If it's a good concealer, it shouldn't crease too quickly, but so you can just kind of see how it adds a little bit extra coverage and just kind of brightens a little bit, especially for people like me who have super dark under eyes. Now we're going to take our same setting powder from before, the loose one, just the same brush, because we're just going to place this under where we've just put all our concealer. This is just to stop it from creasing. So now you have the choice of going over your whole face with translucent powder, which I often do because I'm lazy, or you can do a pressed powder if you want a bit more coverage. But yeah, if you just go in with the translucent, it just sets everything, but it doesn't obviously add any coverage, which is fine. I don't think I need any extra coverage today. If you are going to do a cream contour or a cream highlight, it's best to do that before you put powder over your face because it doesn't mix as well and blend as well on top of the powder. But today I'm just taking a powder contour, and I'm taking my favourite one, which is the Tarte's Pro Glow To Go palette. And it looks like this. This is just the mini one, and I'm going to use the bottom shade called Chisel. So I'm not the best at contour either, but I just try. So what I usually do is just tap it in the pan, tap it off, then go like this. go like, yeah, this, and then you can kind of see a line form and go under that line. And this is just to kind of define and sculpt your face, especially if you're like me and you have extremely huge cheeks and no facial structure at all. So yeah, I kind of like to bring it down. So on the side it looks a bit crazy at the moment, but then as you can look forward, You can see how it's kind of already made the shadow and sculpted my face a little bit more. So yeah, I bring it down to about here. Then we're just going to wipe the excess off the brush because there's no point putting any more on now. And then we're just going to work it in and blend. And I like to do little pressing motions, a bit like the Beauty Blender, but back and forth. So it looks like not blended on camera, but I promise you it is in person. So now we're just going to do the same thing here. Next we're going to take a bronzer, and the one I'm going to take is by Too Faced, and it is the Milk Choc Soleil Light to Medium Matte Bronzer, and it looks like this. It's a cute little packaging, and I like to use my little Too Faced like kind of kabuki brush for that, so I'll just tap a little bit in there and then wipe it around my forehead. This is just to kind of give the effect that you are not as pale as you are, let's be honest. I need that. This is just pretty basic as well. There's a lot more contouring and bronzing and all that kind of stuff you can do, but I'm just kind of keeping it simple today. You can like contour your nose, you can contour your jawline, you can contour your bottom lip to make it look bigger. So yeah, might do some like more in-depth contouring later, but for now we're just doing this. So then you can see how it kind of just makes my forehead look a bit like bronzer, and then the bit where we highlighted before kind of stands out, and then it kind of focuses on the middle of your face, which is kind of what you want to draw people to, if that makes sense, because let's be honest, that's where everything's going on. So now we're going to highlight, and I'm going to use my favourite highlighter, which is the Anastasia Amrezy one. So I like to use a small little domed brush like this, and this is for the high points of your face, so yeah, like above your cheek. I use it on my nose, on my lips, yeah, and then just, yeah, blend it into the skin. Just doing little dabbing kind of circular little thingies, whatever works for you. And then I'm just going to take a tiny bit of this on a little brush like this, a little flat one. I'm just going to take a little bit, and I'm just going to put it on my brow bone. I'm also going to just take a tiny bit and put it on my inner corner. So now we're going to set our face, and this kind of just makes your skin look skin again and makes you look a bit human again after all the powder and everything. So my favourite one is the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray, which smells amazing and is just the best. So I'm just going to spray this. It's so refreshing, like it's honestly the best. Like I recommend this a lot. I'm not really sure how it keeps your makeup on because I don't really use my makeup for prolonged periods of time, but it smells amazing. So what I'm going to do now is just line my lips, and I'm going to use the Australis lip pencil, and this one is in the shade Tickled Pink. I've had this for a long time, so I don't know if they still make it. So I'm just going to do like a very sheer coat of this. So we're left with something like this. Now I'm just going to put a gloss on, and I'm going to use the Colourpop gloss, and this is the Ultra Glossy Lip. This is Kathleen Light and Colourpop's collaboration, and this one is in the shade Moonchild. Don't know if they still have this, but any kind of pink will do, like light nude pink. Okay, so this is the finished look that we are left with. So I think it's just something like pretty basic and pretty simple. Obviously it took quite a while for me to do this video just because I was trying to explain everything, but I feel like on a daily basis it wouldn't take too long. But yeah, I really like it, and I hope you guys like it too, and I hope you like the more in-depth kind of tutorial, and let me know if you would like some more of them because I had a lot of fun doing this. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!